Oh man, I'm so excited. I finally get to play Elden Ring. Wait a minute, something's not right here. Back when the PlayStation 2 was released in the year 2000, one of the launch titles from a little studio called FromSoftware was a little game called Eternal Ring, which sounds strikingly similar to their 2022 magnum opus. So I wanted to see if these two games, more than 20 years apart, shared any other similarities besides their name. First off, the most noticeable difference is the camera perspective. Eternal Ring is a first-person dungeon crawler, as opposed to the third-person action games we've become familiar with, which leads me to my first gripe, the controls. As a launch title for the PlayStation 2, you'd expect the games to be showcasing the latest advancements in hardware. The DualShock controller, featuring 2 analog sticks, was introduced during the original PlayStation's life cycle as an optional extra, but with the PS2, would now be a standard accessory sold with all consoles. So why the fuck does Eternal Ring not use the analog sticks at all?
What? Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
Onto the gameplay, it all sounds pretty familiar. Eternal Ring consists of exploring dungeons, killing baddies, getting loot, and fighting the occasional boss. Though I don't think you'll be up against anything as complex as Millennia. Oh, and get this, there's a cave that poisons you as soon as you walk in it. I guess old habits die hard, huh? You do have a small selection of swords you can use, but this is really a game about magic. As you defeat enemies, they drop gems with different elements and power levels. These gems are used to create magical rings that equip you with spells. The game doesn't really tell you how to craft the rings unless you have the manual, but basically you can use up to 6 gems when crafting, and the ones on the left will determine the element, whereas the ones on the right dictate whether it'll be an attack or support spell. Admittedly, it can be pretty fun experimenting with different combinations to see what you can get, and there's a decent variety of spells here, from fireballs to healing to freezing to protective buffs. But honestly, the only spell you need for the whole game is a little one called Wind Cutter. It's cheap, quick to cast, has decent range, can hit multiple enemies, and it's like one of the first spells you can get. Eternal Ring wasn't especially difficult, but boy was it punishing. In Elden Ring, when you die, you drop all your runes and return to the last site of grace you visited. In Eternal Ring, the game says fuck you and straight up just yeets you back to the main menu, and you have to pick up from whenever you saved last, which could be like up to an hour ago. The music is repetitive, the story is forgettable, and the voice acting is, well, see for yourself.
I gotta be going now. If you're gonna deliver that ladder, you'd be a lot better off doing it before nightfall. Yeah? The king wants you to retrieve the eternal power? Okay, sorry. I'm a nosy person.
Splendid. You have my complete gratitude. Oh, yes. Most excellent.
Though to be fair, the villain is pretty cool.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Until he opens his mouth to talk, at least.
The Eternal Ring is mine! Mine! Mine!
So, is this worth playing? Should you race out and grab a copy to add to your retro games collection? Look, all I'll say is I'm glad FromSoftware went in the direction they did with action RPGs. Thanks for listening to me ramble. If you found this video entertaining or funny, or you think my voice sounds so boring you want to use it to fall asleep at night, consider clicking that there subscribe and or like button, because I want to talk more soon about some older games that time might have forgotten. Until then, stay safe out there, nerds.